Start recording. Alright. Hey, it's Chris, and just Chris. And I probably sound terrible, and the game might be too quiet or too loud, or the game might not look perfect. Shit like that. And you might hear an old chair, some loud keyboards. That's because I'm not home right now. And I didn't bring the little fuzzy thing to put on top of my mic, so that's why I might sound tart in particular. But no, I'm at Max's house in Philadelphia, which I talked about, the drive being terrifying, and it was terrifying again. But yeah, so I actually got a setup to work on. How do I do this? Essentially what I'm doing right now is I'm playing the game on... Max has two monitors, a big monitor and a small monitor. I'm playing this on the big monitor, and basically just getting the capture card to work, and you know, the shit, it's been difficult. So basically I'm too late for Gavin, so that's why he's not here. He still has work. I had to get used to the job. I have to set everything up. I had to get all the settings correct. I tried to mess with the compressor. I failed. So there's no compressor. There's no noise gate, so you might hear a computer fan, stuff like that. Basically, it's just going to be unoptimal. The next two salmon runs are going to be rather unoptimal. So I can't do much about that. But what I can do is I can bring you salmon run regardless. Because, you know, at this point, I have made a commitment. I have made a commitment, and I am sticking to that commitment. If I had to, I think I mentioned it. If I had to, I would take my phone and record one round of Salmon Run with my phone on Switch portable mode if I had to. You know? That would still count, obviously. But yeah, so I don't have any sound because, obviously, since it's Max's computer monitor, he, it's right next to the microphone on the desk. So I'm like, oh shit, how do I solve this coinky dink? Turns out you solve that coinky dink by... coinky dink means coincidence, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh my god, we all died trying to get the last eggs. But yeah, I solved that thing by just turning the volume off. So I have no volume. I have no idea if anything works at the moment. I'm just living on a prayer here. Like, for all I know, it's framey as shit. I don't know. Just know that I am here. So, how far am I gonna go? Probably not that far. Essentially, like, you know, this isn't really the best setup for streaming. I got to find a spot for the Switch and the capture card on the desk, unplug stuff, plug stuff back in. Don't tell Max, but I switched the monitors around so they were more like my monitors at home. What is that, Windows? I don't know what Windows is saying. Unstable? What? The problem with this is that I can't... Everything is on the monitor that Salmon Run is on right now. So... oh yeah, that's looking pretty unstable. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm locally recording anyway, so but hopefully that's fine. Unless it's saying, oh yeah, there's no room on your computer, even though it looked like there was plenty of room. Actually, what am I recording at? Oh, I didn't even look at that. This is rough, guys. The quality might be terrible. Okay, don't rule that out. The quality might be terrible. Definitely a possibility. But yeah. I made some renovations to the setup to better suit me for the next, presumably, about 72 hours. Windows, what is it, man? I don't know what it is. Sorry, you're definitely hearing Windows right now. Well, not right now, but you were. Time for Chris to be the best. Oh, yeah. Fuck no. Good. Put in work. I cannot snipe this guy at the moment. Off I go. Alright. Wait for him to come back. And then... Oh, nerd. Alright. We have the eggs, actually. So that's tight. Okay. We're all good. Ah! Yeah, I mean, since I'm alone, I'm more inclined to just talk about the game. But, I don't know. Like, because there are topics I want to talk about, but at the same time, oh my god, can these little shits get off of me? Get off me, wow. But, I want to talk about them with Gavin, essentially. So, what I can talk about, because, you know, stories don't really offer much as far as discussions, I guess. So, I can tell you the story about what is happening in my life right now. Essentially, Max called me, and he was like, hey, you walk dogs, and you stay overnight. You basically dog sit, that's the word. You want to dog sit at my house? And I'm like, or do you want to dog sit my dog on the weekend of whatever this weekend is? What's the date? The 23rd. 23rd to whatever, like, Sunday's date is. And I'm like, sure. The problem is, I like, you know, I got the okay from my employers and everything, and you know, all was good. I never asked where it was, and I don't know if this would have made a difference because, you know, I would have seen the map and I would have said, oh yeah, just go down this road for the most of it, and then, you know, a little bit down some other road, whatever. But yeah, so not only did I not ask where it was, it's in the middle of Philadelphia, so city driving, but also it's the road here is hell. I'm pretty sure I talked about it last time with Gavin. I have not enjoyed the trip up, the trip back, and then the trip up again. None of that. That probably the most anxiety I've ever experienced in a good while. So very not pleasant. Oh wait, right, I don't have the snipey. Okay, we're good. But yeah. So the problem is that normally you go to like meet the dog with my job, and I didn't know if Max wanted that, but I'm like, he suggested it. I'm like, you know what, that makes sense. I really should have been the one to propose that, but I wasn't even thinking really about that and stuff. So you know, I met him yesterday. Basically met up with him and his dog yesterday. So, you know, of course, I figured that the drive was terrible, and I don't necessarily like the area. It's not, like, bad, per se, but, you know, it did kind of stress me out. For a while, I thought it was, like, you know, around the bad part of Philadelphia. Max assured me, no, it's not actually there. And no, bad stuff doesn't actually happen. He's been staying here for, like, 3 months. I don't know. So, yeah, but still, you know, if only I had the hindsight. AKA, if only I talked or said, hey, can I meet up with you guys later? Or at least just asked for the address. Like, I didn't even do that. So, you know what? This is basically me taking the L. Because I was like, well, Max, if you can find someone in the span of 12 hours, then that would be great. But if you can't, then it is literally my fault. So, like, I will definitely take the L. Like, I don't know. I'm not really smart, honestly. Like, I guess I don't really think these things for some reason. At the same time, I also just don't want to bother him. Like, Max and I haven't talked in forever, so it's like, you know, if I don't want to bother him, right? Anything could have happened. Doesn't help that his mom apparently told him that she thought I was, like, an idiot or something. I don't know. That leaves a bad impression. Oh my god, these mods. So yeah, I basically took the hell drive down here today, and I hate driving on, like, highways. I hate it. I hate it. Like, at least yesterday what happened is, like, I kind of drove... Basically, Google Maps took me the fastest way, and the fastest way it took me through was basically the ghetto. And, like, short, narrow roads, one way, intersections that you can't see anywhere, so I almost, like, hit cars 3 times on the way up, and I was, like, cursing Max's name. I'm like, Max, why do you live here? Max, why would you invite, like, because Max knows where I live, obviously, so it's like, Max, why would you invite me all the way up here the drive is hell. But whatever. The drive back wasn't as bad because I took a kind of highway that was around the side, and then I just stayed in the right lane. Normally I like to go into the left lane and stuff and pass people, but I'm like, I genuinely don't want to miss an exit since I don't know where I am or where I'm going. And I don't have a mount for my car that sticks properly, and I didn't want to risk it, so I didn't really have Google Maps in my face. Oh god, so I have to do is I have to look down at my cup holder for a split second to pick up my phone, turn it around without touching anything because Google Maps hates that, and then like hold it hold it with my thumb and my index finger while holding the steering wheel with my other 3 fingers, and then just kind of looking at it occasionally just to find out where it is and shit. And sometimes Google Maps just doesn't have the GPS coordinate, and sometimes Google Maps just stops talking for some reason. Like, you know, there have been times where it just has muted itself. So I'm like, always like, it's like, drive this for 12 miles. And then after a while, I'm like, did it mute? No, you're still driving the 12 miles, but I have no sense of direction. So I don't actually, or no sense of distance. So I don't actually know. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. So of course, you know, it was funny because yesterday as I was driving up, I'm like, well, at least I'll have like the experience of driving here. So the next time I drive up here, it won't be as bad. Well, the thing is, I you know, obviously didn't take the ghetto route. I took the highway route. And the thing about the highway route is it wasn't as pleasant as going back home yesterday, even though it's like the same highway. I don't know. It's like, because basically at the beginning of the ride today, I was in the right lane because I don't want to leave it because it's the slow lane and I don't want to miss my exit and I don't want to risk merging and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to stay in the right lane. Early on in the drive, there was an exit in the right, like the right lane just turned into an exit. It wasn't like there was the right lane and then there was a righter lane that sprouted up to lead to an exit. No, the lane I was in was the exit, so I'd had to merge on. So I was, for the entire rest of the ride, I was so anxious about, oh god, should I get in the right lane? Will that become an exit? There became a 4-way highway at one point, and I'm like, or 4-lane highway. I'm like, do I get in the rightmost lane or do I stay in the 3rd lane? And I hate that because then 2 cars are passing by either side of you and you feel like you're gonna crash. And oh my god, at the beginning of the drive, I turned into a lane and I didn't see someone because they were in my blind spot and I almost just swerved into them. Oh my god. That was at the very start of the drive. So, you know, of course, right there, I'm already anxious as fuck. It's just it's so unpleasant. And I hate city driving. I hate 1-lane roads. I hate all the parked cars everywhere. I hate getting lost. I hate all that shit. So I have my car parked in front of Max's house, and I am not moving it until I have to go home again, which I will have to do, and I will have to endure similar tasks, but I don't think it'll be bad as driving up because I'll just take the same road back, and that wasn't as bad. The funny thing yesterday when I was driving home, I like once I got to familiar territory, like I saw the name of the road I lived on, or at least, you know, oh my god, the long stretch of road that I lived off of, and I'm like, oh my god, I recognize that road name. And sure enough, I just had to drive straight, and then I was home, and I was like, oh my god. Drove through everywhere that was familiar, and I was so relieved because I'm so scared of just fucking up, getting lost, getting in an accident. Like, last year at Too Many Games, I missed an exit. Or no, I got off at a premature, shit. I went off at a premature exit, I think. So I had to, no, I missed an exit. Right, oh my god, that was so stupid. So, oh no. Alright. Yeah, I'm dead. I got off I missed the exit, so I had to drive like fucking 5 miles to the next exit, then find a way to U-turn in this place that I didn't know, and then drive 5 miles back, just to get off at the right exit. And I'm, you know, these things, they scar you, basically, you know? Driving on the highway is not fun, like, at all. It's just terrible. It's like, Who invented these fucking roads? They're so bad. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let me just see. Yeah, mic's still going. We're good. That's just the driving. So okay, I'm in the city now, and I don't do well in. I guess I don't do well in city environments. You know, not just driving. It's just like, you know, all the tall buildings kind of clumped together, made of brick. I live in basically as suburbs as it can get, so, you know. I like come here and I'm like, and then, you know, people are just kind of out and about talking, and I'm like, I just hate when like one person's on the sidewalk at my neighborhood when I try to take a walk. You know, there's just people everywhere, and it's like people outside talking. There was an ice cream truck earlier that just kept looping around the blocks, so you kept hearing that music. It was like a mix of music almost. It wasn't even the typical ice cream truck song. And I'm like so paranoid. Because basically Max told me that, oh yeah, don't go outside after 7:30 because that's when like the crack addicts and the beggars start, you know, harassing you if you're out. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Thankfully, Max has a dog door and a backyard, so his dog doesn't, you know, it doesn't have to go 12 hours without peeing. So that's good. Basically, she's a very active dog, though, and it's very obvious that Max wants to keep her active, so it's not like I can't just not walk her. I have, you know, I have to endure that. Oh my god, you know what's even worse? I took her out today, and I'm like, I'm the kind of guy who just doesn't trust cars to stop. Speaking of, I don't trust cars to stop. Like, I know pedestrians have the right of way, but I genuinely don't believe that cars will always do it or always uphold it. Even though I've seen several examples of it as I was walking the dog. So I came to a road that was actually pretty busy, and cars just kept coming. Normally what I like to do is pretend that I'm doing something else. And, you know, so the car is like, okay, I know to go. But, yeah, the cars just kept coming. And the dog wanted to move, and I was like, so, you know, city really do not do well in a city environment, because I can't even cross the road, like, so we just kind of went around the block, where I didn't have to cross any major roads, and then we just did that a few times, and you know, I walk a bunch of small dogs all the time. I really need a big dog. Like the one that the Max's dog now that I'm walking, because those dogs keep you moving. All my small dogs just kind of like go at a slow pace and then stop and sniff all the time. This dog just loves to move. So, you know, I'm basically jogging with the dog. And you know me, I actually don't go outside at all. The exercise bike actually came to arrived at my house before I left. And the box was pretty big. But, yeah, so I'll probably be better about that later. But, at the moment, I got back inside and I was, like, sweating. And I was like, no, not really. But, you know, legs didn't feel too good. I'm so not in shape. Like, yesterday, when, you know, Max was showing me around, we walked basically all around the city. And, you know, visited a few dog parks and stuff. And, oh, God, like, we were outside kind of walking for, like, an hour. I'm like, you know, it wasn't as bad as this walk, because I guess we were walking and not really jogging, but, I'm like, oh, God. You know, grin and bear it. Just be quiet, Chris. Just be quiet. Don't want to be rude. Of course not. But, yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm like, I'm such a dumbass. Like, whatever. So, yeah. So now I'm in the city of Philadelphia, with a dog that I need to walk. In an area that I don't really like because it's the city. And then at the very end of all this, I have to take the hell drive home again. So, oh my god, and then when I get home, I have to do an overnight for a week. So, I don't even get to sleep in my own bed for another week. Oh my god. So, it's gonna be rough. I will endure, though. You know, all things considered, it is relatively comfy here, you know? Like, Max's computer is good. And it's hopefully streaming well. I got the Switch set up, so I can comfortably stream Salmon Run at a hopefully good quality-ish, maybe. I don't have my built-in capture card. I'm using the HD60, so it's probably worse, but whatever. I'll make do. I'm just surprised that I got the capture card to work at all. I figured it wasn't gonna work at all. And then I would have to figure something out tonight. I would be like, oh god, am I gonna be in the mood for Salmon Run? And then am I gonna forget because I wasn't in the mood, but now here I am. Chris is still delivering, thankfully. Maybe, thankfully. The shitty thing, though, is that it has like a kind of spiral staircase with one railing, so I always feel like I'm gonna fall to my death. And when I'm climbing up it, I also feel like I'm gonna fall to my death. It's wood with no carpet or rug or anything, so I feel like I'm gonna slip and fall and die on the staircase. So I'm like, my brain is like, I should really minimize the amount of time I go up and down these stairs. Also, Max has like Max's computer chair is you know, like those director chairs where it's just kind of like a wooden kind of frame, and then it has like cloth for where you sit and then cloth for where you lean back. Max has that as his desk chair, so that could be better as well. Is that like really? I can lean back, but the problem is basically how that chair is there are two, like, for the back of it, there are like two wooden sticks going up, and then you just kind of slide the fabric in between those. So when you lean back, your like upper arm or armpit is like being stabbed by the tips of the wood that the backing is attached to. So like, you know, that's the uncomfortable part. And of course, since I kind of intend to just chill here, I'm gonna have to get used to it. I really hope that my back doesn't die. Oh yeah, Max's dog apparently sleeps in the bed with you. Likes to cuddle up. And that historically means that I get no hours of sleep. Now, it's the part of the job, so whatever. And it is adorable. You know, I'm like, oh, you're so cute, but also please... please give me some space so that, you know, I can sleep. So we'll see how that goes. At the moment, Max's dog seems kind of indifferent to me. You know how this usually goes? Is like, well, yeah, I just met the dog for like a few hours in the afternoon yesterday. Whereas Max and his girlfriend have had her for months. So, you know. I'm pretty sure that she's like downstairs. I think she's waiting for Max to come back or something. She came up for a little, actually, and I'm like, nice! Because she could just chill on the bed, and then she'll have my company, and she'll have some sound to entertain her, I guess. Just throw a grenade up here. Oh, that's not gonna work. It worked. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I have these. Good. Oh, merde. Oh, merde. Well, not much I could have done there. But yeah. Really, the saving grace here is that Max's dog has a dog door and a little back area. So, you know, she was reluctant to go out for a walk, too. I eventually got her to do it, and then she did as she does, making me jog. She's a very active dog, so I want to get out there and get walks done, but, you know, at the same time, I'm like, alright, I have to not get lost, because I don't know the area at all. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to go in a straight line. Oh, but that's where the busy road is. I mean, look, I'll survive. Like, basically, I am holed up in the house. Other than walking the dog, and I guess there's a CVS a few blocks away. I'm gonna go there and get hand soap because there's no hand soap in this house. There's literally no hand soap in this house at all. None at all. Even the second floor bathroom that, you know, doesn't belong to Max or his girlfriend doesn't have soap in it. They have a soap container and then it's empty, and I'm like, so I might go to CVS to get soap. But other than that, I am being holed up, or I'm holing up in this house. So, you know, walking the dog and CVS. That's it. Because I actually bought a bunch of groceries yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I bought a bunch of groceries yesterday, and I just brought all of them here. Like, it was like a 1-hour car ride, so I don't know how safe that is for deli meats. And people are going to be hearing this and they're going to go, Chris, did you drive in a car on like a summer day with deli meats for an hour and then eat them? Yeah. But like, I brought 5 boxes of granola bars. You know, I actually didn't mean to bring all 5 boxes. I just bought 5 boxes for home. But then I just kept them in the grocery bag and then just picked up the grocery bag and put it in the car. Windows, shut the fuck up, please. Oh, unstable. Yeah. So I have enough food for 4 days. I have entertainment for 4 days because I have a computer. I'm good. I'm good. I'm relatively comfy, I guess. Just have to deal with maybe, I don't know. There's a window air conditioner in this room. I think I'm allowed to use it. The funny thing is, because I was like, I voiced my concerns to Max, obviously, to ask him to see if he, like, there was anyone else in the area or something he knew or something. And he's like, well, if you feel really uncomfortable, you can take her, like, to your house. And I'm like, well, I've never had a dog at my house. And, she's like a very kind of shy, timid dog, you know? She can kill, but she's very shy and timid at the same time. Windows, please stop. I'm apparently offline, I guess, whatever. So I'm like, if a stranger that she only knows for like 1 day tries to get her in a car and then drives her for an hour while being visibly anxious for the entire hour and maybe even swearing Max's name, maybe with some, you know, music she might not like, and then is, you know, put in a home that she's not used to at all, she's probably gonna freak out and be uncomfortable and probably pee and poop everywhere and want to die. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, the option's open if I really feel uncomfortable, but I genuinely don't think I'm gonna feel uncomfortable enough to have her deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not my thing, I guess. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna go over well at all. Because, you know, dogs are dogs, right? Like, you know, with people, you can kind of understand that they're uncomfortable, but, like, also kind of, you know, assure them that it's fine. And, you know, they're humans. Humans are pretty capable. Relatively smart. I'm not very smart, but, you know, stuff like that. There's no way I'm going to be able to convince this dog that it's alright and that my house is actually pretty chill and that the neighborhood is a great place for walking dogs and actually has grass so you don't have to pee on the concrete or you don't have to poop on the concrete. You don't have to worry about loud sounds at all. Like trucks. Like why are trucks driving down these fucking roads? Whatever. Or just kids. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, like... The only thing worse than driving back home, which is already terrible, is driving back home with a nervous dog in the back seat. And just like, if an accident happens, she could be killed, and I'm like, I really don't want to be liable for that. It's just such a shitty drive. I always tell people, like, oh yeah, driving's easy. Driving's, you know, brain dead, basically. I do not account highway driving in that at all. That's terrible. Highway driving, it will always be terrible. Even just like two-lane kind of, what do they call it, like freeways or something? I don't know, like just the smaller kind of highways, I guess. Those are also bad because people are assholes and they merge into your lane and try to pass you and jank. And it's just garbage, really. Nothing is good about highways. And I'm like, basically I was like, man, I hate this drive. Really can't wait for self-driving cars. And Max is like, no. And I'm like, Max, are you one of those people who hates the idea of self-driving cars? Please, Max. You're in the only demographic that I can trust to support this thing. It's just like, think about self-driving cars for one fucking second. There's like basically no such thing as accidents, right? And people will be like, oh, actually, let's just pretend that all the cars, like, they communicate with each other. Now, of course, with people, that remains to be seen, but if people take on my mindset of a car is not going to stop at an intersection, you better be cautious, I think we'll be fine. But no one does. But, yeah, like, cars can all communicate with each other and be like, this car's like, I'm turning left, so then my car will be like, all right, you know, I'll back up so you can get in. Probably minimize the amount of accidents, and then on top of that, oh, you know what, has my stream been going offline and then back online? I've probably been annoying people. Oh, well. But yeah, the best part is that you don't have to do anything. So you can just be on your phone all the time. Or, you know, probably at one point maybe have a laptop or something. Maybe we'll have like 7G Wi-Fi or something that you can create from your phone for like free or something. Technology might get there, but that would be great. At the moment, we kind of have self-driving cars, don't we? Like these 2008 model cars have like, they have detectors, they have cameras on like the front of them that kind of detects where lines in the road are. So then, you know, what it does is it keeps your car in the road, and then, you know, a camera in the front that detects other cars in front of it. So it keeps you a set distance behind another car. So like all you kind of have to do is like steer. Of course, there's also cruise control. So, you know, your car will just always go at a set speed. Basically all you have to do is steer. Like that's the present, if I understand correctly. That's the present. So, you know, having a car that like fully drives itself, and you know, for the beginning of self-driving cars, we'll probably need to like actually pay attention. Like we might not have to touch the wheel, but just in case something happens, you know, then you humans will have to take over control of the car to, you know, make something work or break, you know, all that shit. But man, I'm like, that's a lot better than what we have at the moment. I genuinely hate driving on highways, and I really just hate driving in general. Driving's easy, but it's, you know, it's tedious. You have to deal with other drivers being assholes and other drivers just being slow and shit. And, you know, I got something to do, stuff like that. With self-driving cars, all the cars are going to be doing the same thing, so there's no unpredictability factor. And then you have, you know, you can be on your phone or something, so the drive doesn't seem as long and tedious and as much of a waste of time because basically all you're doing in the car is getting from point A to point B, and that's it. So it's really just a waste of time to me. This is why I want self-driving cars a lot. You know, like driving fucking sucks. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Now, if you don't drive, driving is great. Like having the ability to drive is great. So if you don't have like a license, I would very much recommend getting it, because having the ability to drive opens up a ton of opportunities and shit. So definitely do that. It's like driving's easy, you know. Can this sniper stop? Driving's actually not that hard, you know. I had the idea, oh, you have to, you know, you're driving a fucking 2-ton thing of metal at like 40 miles per hour. Like if you hit anything, you're gonna fucking die. That kind of idea. You're gonna kill someone. You're gonna total something, knock an entire building over. These are the kind of thoughts I had, and that people probably also have. Hey, guess who did all the damage to that thing, you fucks? Okay, but whatever. It's really not that bad. Like if you live in a if you live in a city, then you know, fair. If you don't want to drive, you don't really have to, do you? There's like public transport everywhere. You probably already know the ins and outs of that. But if you live in like, you know, the suburbs or, you know, the rural area, like you're doing yourself a disservice by not driving if you can, you know. It's like all the rules of the road are like so self-explanatory. The only thing that tripped me up was the right of way, and I think like my book said like if you both reach a stop sign at the same time, the person to the right of you goes first or something. Maybe that was me misinterpreting it, but that's not even how it goes, honestly. It's basically just you get to an intersection, and then if you want to stop and wait for the other person to go, you know, you can. And I sometimes do that. And then what ends up happening is the person kind of motions for me to go anyway. So I'm like, all right, you had the right of way. You got there first, but whatever, I'll go. And then sometimes there are just people who, just, what am I saying? Like they very obviously got there first, but they like stop and wait for you to reach the stop sign and come to a complete stop before going. And I'm like, okay. You're just wasting both of our time. But that's not even the thing I wanted to say. It's like, if you take the initiative, then chances are, like, by the time you start driving, then, you know, you're already past the stop sign. It's like, it's much more lax than you think, basically, you know? Like, no one's gonna kill you for, you know, going first. Unless they're also already going, you know what I mean? But no one's gonna get, like, angry or something, you know? Shit, like, really, when you're driving, shit just happens. Like, when I'm driving up to Max's place, where I am now, like, while driving up to there, I always left a wide enough spot so that, because I'm in the right lane, right? I always left a wide enough spot so people could merge, into my lane to get to an exit. Because I understand. You want to go in the fast lane. But then, it turns out that I can't, oh, jeez. It turns out that I can't, go, oh, shit. It turns out that I can't merge into the right lane to get to the exit because the cars are so packed. So that's why I like to leave room and then slow down and let people in and shit like that. There we go. We're good. We're Gucci. Get the egg in. Get the... Oh, shit. Are you serious? Okay, we're good. We got it. Yeah, there's Chris talking about... Basically just complaining about driving. It's scary, dude. Like, driving up and back from Philly, the most anxiety I've had. This is gonna be gross, but when I was driving back home yesterday... Like, you could see this perspiration on my arm. And I was like, oh, God. Well, I mean, I could go until 1,200. Oh, but that's like a bunch of chunks. You know what? I'm going to go to 1,200. Because it's a bunch of chunks. Chunks are green. And, yeah, I'm like, well, I'm at 400 now, so I could stop. So yeah, I don't know how the stream's going. I did a few tests to get the sync right and hopefully the volume right and stuff. I don't know how it sounds like in the actual game. I only did the menu, the Salmon Run menu, so it's probably louder. Alright. But next time, since everything's all hooked up and everything's working and I got the stream key in and stuff like that, we should be good for Gavin. I don't know. Next time is Saturday, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping it was Sunday so that I could do it at home, but no, it's Saturday. There we go. I think that's all I have to talk about. Because, you know, I could bring up Splatfest stuff, but, you know, maybe eventually I'll squeeze out an opinion from Gavin. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to, you know, things have maybe been clarified for me a bit more, which isn't a good thing. So, you know, look forward to that. And then I kind of wanted to talk about Resident Evil 7 too, since I watched that recently, and, you know, I haven't played it. I watched it, so of course it could be different when playing it. But while watching it, yeah, first impressions not that good. Yeah. Well, no, the first impressions were great. The you know, everything after that. Basically, I mean, if you played the game, I think once you get to the main hall, that's when it stops being interesting. Up until like the end of the game, where there's like, you know, a thing. You know, shit happens, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. But, you know, otherwise, I'm just like, oh my god, dying. And this is from someone who hasn't played a Resident Evil game, so I actually don't know, like, what the other games are like, and if, like, you know, certain types of monsters are, like, the norm and shit like that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming while I'm here. Because while I have a bunch of free time, I mean, I always have a bunch of free time. Let's be real. I always have a bunch of free time. So, saying that, oh, I have a bunch of free time now doesn't actually mean anything. Because I always have a bunch of free time. But, you know, I'm living with a dog. While this dog doesn't actually bark, which, you know, is great, there are a bunch of people outside that always talk and yell and stuff. At least from my first day. So I don't want to risk streaming and then having that. Hey, that one random boy. It's just me today. And I probably sound worse. I'm streaming from not home. So I'm at my friend's house. So that's why the quality of the stream might not be up to snuff. Hopefully it's fine. I have no way of knowing. I was just talking about how getting to my friend's house has been the scariest thing in the entire world for me and shit. My wife is low quality. That's my mom. Now she's gonna be very upset if I don't answer the fucking call. I'll just tell her I'm in the middle of something, but I'm fine. Okay, so give me a sec. Alright, that works. It's like, are the doors locked? And I'm like, I would not, like, I basically would think I have OCD with how much I check the locks. And I'm like, is it really locked? The knob doesn't turn even from the inside, but like, for all I know, it's not really locked. If I don't stream Salmon Run soon or again, then you'll basically know that I died here. But I mean, against my better judgment, I looked up crime maps for this area that I'm in right now. 0 homicides in the past 6 months, so that's good. Just some like thefts and burglaries and stuff. People who do that don't usually want to kill you anyway. And besides, I'm not going to be carrying my wallet with me, and it's just like, if they want my phone, then, you know, my parents will understand. And then I might be able to get an LG G7, baby. Not that I'm saying I want to be, you know, burgled, but type of person to save a Pokemon game 4 times. Yeah, I was talking about Resident Evil 7 earlier. I was watching Northern Lion play that, and it basically became a meme where he saved every 2 minutes. I can get like that sometimes in games. It's like, oh, don't want to lose any progress. Oh, we are so close. Oh, please God, tell me we make it to wave 3 in the next one. And then I will be done. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's a sparkly chunks. That's it. It's kind of getting hot in here. It is like the 3rd floor, so basically I had to unplug the window air conditioner to plug in the switch into the power strip that is literally duct taped up onto the wall. It's duct taped on the wall upside down, so I guess it's so the monitors, because the monitor cables are always so infamously small or short. I don't even know why they do that, but like I had trouble with it. It's just kind of funny though. Also, for some reason, literally all of the outlets in this house are only dual pronged. There are no 3-pronged things, so you need a converter, of which Max has several. I don't need them because, you know, all my shit is dual pronged, so that's fine, but it's just kind of odd, right? And then, you know, Gavin's gonna come in here and be like, oh, well, my house does that. Fuck you, Gavin. At least I know he has paper towel rolls. Hey, you want to know something funny? In the bathroom on this 3rd floor, there isn't like a toilet paper holder at all. There's nothing on the wall. He doesn't even have like a vertical one. There's nothing. So you just have to use your fingers. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to roll. That time I did. There was an age where you dropped your DS. Alright, and then you think the game turned off. Oh, and then like you think the screen broke because you see the power's still on, but the screen's black, and then it just kind of ends up working. I remember that. Remember when your DS top screen would, like one of the hinges would just break, so you could kind of have it at a dumb angle, and then eventually the top screen stopped working. Man, remember the fat DS? That's like insane. Oh, we have to get eggs in. Oh, I'm dead. Well, this is fine because they help me. They help me. Oh, we have enough eggs. That's fine. So Saturday, I'll probably have more things to report. As far as, you know, living in the city. I've had that song stuck in my head ever since I've been driving here because I thought of that joke, and I'm like, you know what, that's pretty good. You know, like, it's even better because it's like, you know, you have to survive. Living in the city, you have to keep the dream alive. I mean, have I been in worse scenarios? Actually, I don't know. I've been in scenarios that kind of felt worse, I guess. Basically, I just hate traveling, and I hate being away from home. So it's like, you know, there's like an overnight field trip at school or a camp or something. I'm like, ooh. I mean, actually, at the camp I went to, those were actually really fun. But like at first I was like, that's scary. Going to, yeah, right, I went to, you know, the British Isles for 3 weeks. I think that could be considered worse than this. And I did that while I was younger. Oh my god. I'm just comfy at home, you know? I'll have a stay-at-home vacation. I mean, not like every day of my life is that, anyway. But like I always talk as if I'm not employed. I am employed, but like it's not that taxing. You know what I mean? Could be worse. And yeah, that's what greed gets you. So good thing one person was not greedy. I don't even know why I went in, really. Just something about being away from home. Like, something bad can happen to you, and then you don't have everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know. You don't have, like, a familiar hospital, or, like, you don't have a familiar grocery store. All the roads are unfamiliar. People aren't familiar, I guess. That doesn't really make a difference. The roads are different. Just like if something happens, then you're kind of like in the middle of nowhere, basically. Even though where Max lives is like in the middle of like 5 stores. But I'm like, nope. No, sir. Not getting out of this house. I have something that isn't the sniper to take care of the snipers, please. Thank you. Oh, good. Someone's taking care of it. 2/5 of my friends don't like physical contact with any human being. I mean, other than friends, I'm basically in the same boat. Like, even just like on the phone. I'm pretty sure I tweeted about it, how it was like a T-Mobile commercial where they're like, you know, someone's trying to get customer service, and then there's like a robot, and it's like, you know, please input your number, and then he puts in the number. It's like, sorry, that was wrong. Try again. And then, you know, he's getting frustrated and shit, and then, you know, a person comes on the phone and is like, how may I help you? And he's like, ah, like a breath of fresh air. I'm like, I hate talking to customer service people. I love the robots, dude. They're my favorite. Oh, we won. Cool. I didn't even notice. Other than I was living in the city. Oh, right. And then Kata's House USA. I had stuck in my head for the first half of the day. Because you know, I have the extended version on my phone because I made it. So I'm like, might as well put it on my phone. And basically what happened is, because I was so nervous driving, it's like, it's a nice little calm song. It's like, ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-bum, boop, boop. Oh yeah, no, the stream's over, so the stream's basically over, so, you know, don't worry. Go take your shower. It'll be good. It'll be comfy, you know. I had that song on for the entire 30 minutes. So, of course, it's stuck in my head. I don't know if it helped me. Oh, look at that. See, it was worth getting there. Now I have 4 ink recovery ups. It could have been 4, what? Ink resistances, but I got a bit lucky. You know what? Now that the Switch is set up, I can actually, you know, buy stuff from the Splatnet store again. So there's that. But yeah, you know, basically just a stressful day all around. But I'm in now. It works. Alright, the friend tee with Ninja Squid. The friend tee is great because it's just like a normal ass shirt, and then it just has the friend smile on it. Let's see. Nintendo Switch Online. Is it? Oh yeah, here it is. Can you guess what ability I just ordered? If you guess Ninja Squid, you're right. Wait a second. Oh, I have to make a new order. Whoops. Well, spoilers, I guess. Heck yeah. Change that shit. What else is there? Run speed. Yeah, whatever. Well, whatever. I gotta look at that, and then I'll be done. And I don't have my, you know, since this isn't my OBS, I don't have my end card. So let's do it old school. If you're watching this on Twitch, then I upload all the videos on all the archives on YouTube, so you can see what I've streamed, or like if you missed a stream for 30 days, 60 days, I don't know. Twitch deletes VODs, but they'll always be on YouTube until YouTube does something stupid. And if you're watching on YouTube, then I stream basically all of these live on Twitch, even if today it was choppy, apparently. And I'm Christmas 95 everywhere, but I use Twitter a lot, so if you want, you can follow me there. And that's that. Oh, I can't make a thumbnail. Maybe I can. Right, I don't have PowerPoint. I don't have any of my pictures. I don't have the fonts. I'll just go without a thumbnail and then make it when I get back. I'll live. Everyone else will live. It's fine. But thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching, even if the quality might be worse than usual. You know, it was nice to be able to do this without much problem, as far as I know. So, heck yeah! Now I gotta open OBS and close it.